Today we're going to look at 5 reasons why making a plan is so important. So the first one is clarity, which equals confidence. So there is research that states that if you write down your plan, it's highly likely that you will achieve it. And I've been there and done it myself. Talking about it doesn't really work. And if you break down that plan into smaller steps, that definitely helps you to get to where you're going. So maybe you might look at you might do a 10-year plan, and then you might say, okay, look at 10 years, and then you break it down to, okay, not okay, 10 years, ultimately, what is it that you want your life to be, or what is it that you're planning to do, whether it's to buy a home, whether it's to purchase a car, whether it's to retire early, whatever it might be. Make that plan, decide on what it is and what it is that you think what you want it to look like. So you look at it for 10 years, then you break it down to maybe 3 years and say, okay, so I've got that plan. How do I achieve that within 3 years? Break it down into smaller bites. So that might mean, okay, so within 3 years, I'd need to make sure I've saved £25,000, or within 3 years, I need to make sure I've passed my driving test, whatever it is. And after you've done your 3 years, you break it down even further to 1 year. But now it gives you the ultimate steps on what you can do within these 12 months or 1 year. You can break it down even further than that to the next 3 months. So what is it that I need to do in the next 3 months? So say, for example, it was to save £50,000 within 10 years. Within 3 years, what is 50,000 divided by 10, which means this is what I need to make every year or save every year. When you've saved that, you will know that you've achieved your goal. If you don't write it down and make it plain, as the Bible says, it makes it difficult. It sways you. You realize that 1 year's gone, 2 years gone, 3 years gone, 10 years have gone, and you're in the same position. So making sure you have this plan is so important. Another concept about having a plan is having cheerleaders. I went to an event over the weekend to TC Publishing. So that is my sister cousin, Tanya Coley, who has a publishing company, and she had an author's breakfast. So we all gathered at 9 o'clock to get together, firstly to network, breakfast is included. And you realize that when you're in places like that, you're around people that are on the same journey as you, or thinking about going on that journey. It really, really supports you on where you need to go and what you need to do, and gives you that clarity. So making sure that you're surrounding yourself by individuals that are on the same thing as you. Studies already show that social support is equal to 75% of a success. You need to get around like-minded people. The third thing is avoid wasted time and energy. So without a plan, you're just spinning around in circles, as mentioned before. You feel stuck. You don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to do. I want this, and that's it. What you need to do is break it, as I said, break it down into smaller steps, but also schedule. So to work on that side hustle, I'm going to put down at least 2 hours per day for the next 5 days and see what progress I've got. If I want to do personal development, I'm going to make sure I read 5 pages of a self-development book, or listen to 30 minutes of a motivational speaker, whatever that might be. It might be you want to do Bible study, listen to the word, get more into the word. I will, at this time of day, make sure I'm prepared to have that time with the Lord, to meditate, to read, to pray, whatever that might be. But scheduling it and saying, right, this is what I'm going to do. And then, as we know, or as you may have heard, if you do something for 90 days, it then becomes a habit. So sometimes we're struggling and I can't bother to do this. I can't bother to put this video together. You know, I've got other things I need to do. If you keep on doing something, eventually it just becomes a habit and it becomes part of you. It no longer becomes difficult. The next thing that you need to do is actually keep track of progress. So as I mentioned, you got a 10-year plan, you got a 3-year plan, you got a 1-year plan, you got a 9-month plan, you got a 3-month plan. You need to write it down. You need to write it down so you have access to this information, so you can see it for yourself. And it's also said that it's not necessarily about typing it in your phone. It's actually taking your hand and writing. It does something more to the brain, where it's that the information that you've written down seeps into the brain and allows you to remember it. It becomes more solid because we have written it down and we've had a physical action. I mean, I do it all day long as well. In regards to, I use a diary online, my calendar. I do things on there. I put notes in there. My talks that I'm going to do for YouTube, I put in there. But when it comes to my goal setting, I'll write them down. And it's something that I think that many people don't think is important. Gratitude. Being grateful for where you are now and what you do have. You may not have everything that you want. It might not be perfect, but the fact that you are alive is an ultimate blessing. The fact that if you can speak or communicate, that's a blessing. But as I said, the fact that you're alive is something to be grateful for. You know, I thank God for bed sheets, for a mattress, for slippers to wear. It might sound small, but I really appreciate these things. And when I show this appreciation, or when I show God how appreciative I am, I feel like I get blessed for it. And I'm not doing it because I want to be blessed, because I'm genuinely grateful for my slippers, especially because I got cold feet. But when I thank God for that, it humbles me to say, you know, there's people across the world that don't have a mattress to sleep on, that don't have socks to put on, that don't have soap to bathe themselves. So gratitude is a very, very big part of your planning. So I have a list of things that I'm grateful for, and I'm trying to get to 100. And I say trying, I need to get to 100. I've got quite far now, but writing a list of things that you're grateful for, and you start realizing, wow, there's so much to be grateful. That's a big one. So another thing that we need to look at is asking God for the guidance, asking God for direction. And I say asking God for direction, whether he'll tell you in your ears, whether he'll bring somebody towards you that will say something that your heart feels, you know, that sounds right. God is not going to push himself on us. He's not going to say, you do this, you have to do this. God has given us free will. But if we are in his word and we're around like-minded people, we will be steered in the right direction. Someone will give you their opinion, and you would realize, you know what, that is what I feel like doing. That is where I need to go. And you'll get that direction. So it's very important to get that guidance from God so that you know where to go. So Proverbs 16 verse 9, we plan, but the Lord directs our path, steers us around and moves us and says, okay, how about this? Look at this. Sometimes you do get an idea just like that, and sometimes you don't. But God in the plan is ultimately where we need to go. Pray and then take action. It's unstoppable. Surrender all your plans to the Lord and watch how doors will be opened for you. So, are you ready to build your plan? You need to grab a pen and write down at least one goal, and you can share it with us as well so that we can grow together. You can share that and then break it down as you go along. And don't forget to subscribe and to like this video. I really appreciate it. Remember, if you have any other suggestions that you may have about what can be posted, please let me know. As you can see, I'm focusing on growth, thriving, development, things that we all have, but sometimes we just need that little bit more information from someone to say, yeah, I can do it. Have a blessed rest of the day. I'm Lisa, and I have a passion for freedom.